The militants have made significant gains in recent weeks, seizing entire weapons arsenals. They've already paraded columns of tanks and even a Scud ballistic missile. The chemical site they took in Iraq contained a number of deadly agents, including sarin, cyanide and mustard gas. And now they possess nuclear materials. So let's discuss this with Michael Maloof, who spent 30 years working for the U.S. Department of Defense. He joins us live. There you go. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, what do you think that the jihadists will do with the nuclear material they've seized?
Well, depending upon its composition, it's possible that the material could be used for making a dirty bomb at best. It cannot be made into a nuclear weapon. It's not that. It's been determined that it's not of that grade for a nuclear weapon. But it certainly can be used to make a dirty bomb, and it's been known for years that you can take radioactive material and put it into a conventional weapon such as artillery shells and fire it off and actually radiate an area. And it's been my experience in working with border guards up in Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan in years past that even radioactive scrap metal can be ground up and used. And on one occasion I recall that drivers who drove the material through the checkpoints actually later died of radiation poisoning. So the fact that they have a regulated substance, and given the fact that that the Islamic State has some very smart people, I think that they could probably put it to some use, if not a psychological threat to people, if it's used in warfare or as a terrorist weapon.
Well, other experts agree with your point of view that the uranium isn't enriched enough to make a nuclear bomb, but this dirty bomb, as you've described, that it can still be used for terrorist attacks, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that this is the reason why the Iraqi authorities informed the United Nations, and it was meant to be for university use, but again, if it's put into the wrong hands for the wrong purposes, it can be used as a weapon. And as I said, we've seen this over and over again in other occasions where such materials can be used for illicit purposes. And it's something to be very, very concerned about. And the fact too that al-Baghdadi comes from was a protege of al-Zarqawi, who was with the Ansar al-Islam group. They had experience working with nuclear materials in years past. And I think that and al-Qaeda has people who know nuclear materials. And it would not surprise me that they could put this to some use, even though other experts might disagree that it could even be used as a dirty bomb. The fact that it's regulated, the fact that it's out there, I think is reason to be concerned about it. And it can be used by these people in places in very highly populated areas, and of course that will just radiate an area, and it could cause an area not to be able to be used for years as a consequence.
Mr. Maloof, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for the insight. That was former U.S. Defense Department worker.